Welcome to episode 13 of the Student of Real Estate podcast. Today we're joined by a special guest, Giuliana Iavarone, Leasing and Sales Senior Manager at Cunningham Equities, and a proud Bentley alum. Giuliana, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Fabian, for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Okay, of course. Those that don't know me, I am Fabian, and I am a senior advisor of the Bentley Real Estate Group. And Juliana, so can you start by telling us a little bit about yourself, your background, where did you grow up, and then transition into how you initially end up in a little bit of real estate.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you mentioned, I'm the leasing and sales senior manager at Cunningham Equities, and also a Bentley alumni. I'm
Mhm.
originally from Ecuador, South America, and my mom is Ecuadorian. My dad is Italian, so that's why my name it's that way. Um, so I would say a little bit about myself. My family is in the restaurant industry. So since I was a kid, I was always involved in the business, trying just to learn how like things work, how we can make operations like more efficiently. And that's actually what brought me into Bentley, a business school. I majored with a supply chain management degree, which it just went really well with like how I do things in general. I try to be as effective as I can in everything I do. So I just was attracted more into supply chain management at first. I wasn't really sure what industry I wanted to be in. So I was pretty open to all industries just to learn as much as I can. And one of the internships that I was looking into while at Bentley is called Crest. It's commercial real estate success training. So that was my first, I guess, like door into real estate. I have never worked in it. I wasn't involved at any point in my life. So I met with a couple of people at the CREST program. Sounded really interesting. It gives you the opportunity to intern at a specific company, but it also gives you some like classes about just like real estate principles, which was really valuable at that time just to kind of like get my feet wet in the industry. And then as well, they were also offering a lot of networking opportunities. So as many events as I could, I was trying to attend any event in Boston, elsewhere. So just to meet this different people, getting to know more about the industry, what they're doing, what their different like categories and like areas of real estate really like capture my attention.
Mhm.
So then once I had this internship, I'm like, oh wow, like I really like this. I would like to get more into it. So then I was looking basically my senior year for real estate companies only, I would say. Like that was my preferred industry. And that's when I found Cunningham Equities. So I started with Cunningham Equities my last semester, spring year. I started with the FLIP program. That's our program for future leaders rotational program. So that's when I began working and studying at the same time, which was a little challenging being like my senior year, trying to like graduate, get everything ready, and then also securing a job. So it was a tremendous experience. I started this rotational program more in operations, which was more like construction, project management. So, a field that I have never been involved to, started to learn everything about construction from zero. Besides the classes like I took or like my own self ability to learn.
Mhm.
So once I started this program in construction, then I rotated into finance and then sales, and that's where I'm at right now. The sales department. I manage the department right now. I knew I had some natural abilities. Like I know I felt like I was gonna end in the sales department, which is where I'm at right now. I really like it. I really like to create relationships, personal connections with our tenants, with our town officials, community. So that's a little bit about my background and how I go into real estate.
That's great. It's funny that you said the Crest internship
Yeah,
because last year
were you part
in
of it?
I was
Cohort?
in the interviews and they connected me with some big companies in real
Yeah.
estate. Unfortunately, I didn't successfully get an internship with Crest, but it was
Mhm.
really interested. And I don't know, you said you got your first internship from them, and
Yeah,
I wanted
so I got the internship from Crest, but at a different company.
Mhm.
I got it in a development company in Seaport. They were basically focused more on like getting the project approved, project design, permits, and then somebody else did the construction. Over here, we do it all. We do it from start to finish. We acquire the property, design, get approvals, permits. We do the construction, and then we also manage the property afterwards. So it's just I would say more rewarding to see the project like from 0 to 100 and like just feeling that you're part of it. So it's just very rewarding experience on my day to day.
That's great. Yeah. And so why did you eventually like finish up in co Cunningham Equities? What like s stood out to them for you?
Mhm.
And can you tell a little bit more about Cunningham Equities and like what asset types do they focus on and what type of market you guys focus? So,
Yeah, absolutely. I think if students are listening to this, I think one of the things that really like stood out to them about me during the interview process, that's when like that was my one chance to show my best self, like my best first impression. Um, it was funny because I applied through Handshake. I think that's the way to go. And then James Cunningham, the manager, calls me the day after. He's like, "Oh, I got your resume. I would like to talk to you. Let's meet in person." And that was the first time I heard about Clinton. So Cunningham Equities, we focus on restoring historic mills in Central Mass. So when James called me and told me about Clinton and let's me have an interview, I was all in. I had no buts. I had no whys. I was like, this sounds great. Let's see where we're going. Didn't know who they were. I mean, the company, yes, but I haven't met them. They didn't come to the career fair that year. So I missed the chance to meet them in person. But I applied online, they reached out, and I actually brought cannolis to the interview, which until now they still make fun of that. Fun, but also like, oh wow, like she came prepared, like she thought about bringing something. That just shows like how detail oriented you are, and like how much you care about the interview process. So I think that was one of the things that stood out to them, especially. And then obviously be prepared, get know about like the company website, know about their properties. I did my research before coming. And I also asked very good questions. Like I wanted to learn more about how they got in the industry, what are their goals for this upcoming years, where are they looking to get out of the company. So that's what I think stood out to them throughout the interview process. And then right now we restore historic mills. So those underdeveloped, underutilized buildings around Central Mass that you pass through your car and you're like, oh, what is that? That just looks scary. That's what we do. We turn that scary building into beautiful apartments, beautiful commercial space. And again, as I said, it's just truly rewarding to see a historic building just keeps like their structure, but now it's brought up to life. Now you have people living in it. Now you have people playing, people working. So that's basically what we do.
yeah, I love that part of real estate to actually see like a community or a building actually turn into something that people enjoy and appreciate. So
Yeah.
that's something good that you guys and at least you like about the business. So
Yeah.
as a senior manager, um, you're talking about yeah, you do leasing and the sales. So what does
Mhm.
a typical day for you look like?
So that's one of the things that also I enjoy about this work. I do not have like flat days or like I don't have a flat routine. I get challenged a lot by my peers, by my boss, just everybody at work. We're a small team. We're 8 people right now. Yeah, we're 8 people now. We just hired a new intern. And we do a lot. So we're all involved in every area of the process. We do have different departments. I'm basically concentrated in sales, but We all have a meeting. We all like are involved in the project at each state. We think about how we can solve issues, get creative, and like we believe in like solving problem ability. Um, yeah, I think that's one of the things that I enjoy.
That's good. And is there, I know before starting the podcast, we were talking about a new project that you guys are working with. Can you share a little bit more about the project or a particular project that you were proud of or some in a project that you learned a lot? Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I think the project that I'm most proud of and the project I learned a lot is Jack's Mill. That was the project that I started my internship with. I started in operations in phase one. So I got to see the full construction. I wasn't part of the development process at that point. They were already in construction mode. But just seeing the building literally from zero with no units, the windows being destroyed, the bricks out of place. So how we turned that building into what it is right now. Right now we have 147 units, fully occupied, one commercial tenant. We have a coffee shop. We also have another commercial tenant, which is a doggy daycare. Fenway Park, which is Fenway Park inspired. So we have some really cool stuff in the building. I also got the outdoor pavilion named Julie's Hideaway because I'm always like planning events.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I feel like that's like the project that it was like my start. Just seeing how it has turned out to be right now, how it's going to turn into like a community asset for all the people living there, but also for the community around. So many businesses have like new clients. So just the community has, I don't know, it's just more engaging and there is like more events happening now in town.
Oh yeah, I imagine like the first project as an intern
Yeah.
that impacts you a lot. And that's how you create the first learning experience.
Yeah.
And but now you work more with the lease, and you
Mhm.
work with managing tenants. How is that relationship? Do you find it easy? I know a lot of people like don't like to like talk to people. What makes it easier for you to manage
Yeah.
tenants and like
I think I think like in my case, I'm a people person. Since day one, as I was sharing, like in the restaurant, like since I was a kid, I was always like talking to clients, bringing their dishes to their tables, getting their order. So I think I got that customer service just in me. Um, so I feel like that just reflects when I interact with tenants. I listen a lot more than I talk. I think that's a big tip in sales. It's not about you, it's about like looking for to listen to what they need. So just to find out more, like do they need a one bedroom, a two bedroom? Like is it light important to them? Is it unit and laundry important to them? Just like listening and asking questions, I think has helped me a lot.
Mhm.
As well as like keeping that relationship alive. So I'm the first point of contact when somebody reaches out as a lead. And then maybe I give the tour, maybe somebody else does. But I just like to keep in touch throughout their tenancy, checking in, how's everything doing? I see them in the hallway. We do owners walks every week throughout different properties. So just seeing faces around and like just showing that you care. We make events every like other quarter. So I think just maintaining that relationship alive rather than just like a one-time connection has made
Mhm.
a real difference in our properties right now.
Yeah, like make an actual connection with the tenants and
Yeah,
going a little bit the extra mile with them. So
absolutely. That makes makes all the difference.
yeah, when you provide a good service, it makes a big
Mhm.
difference.
Yeah,
And
on time response. You want to make sure you're detail oriented communication, especially in like managing the properties, answering to tenant requests. You just want to make sure you're there.
yeah,
That's what matters.
and during these years that you've worked with Cunningham Equities, has it
Mhm.
been difficult to lease up these units, or would you say Um, there's a lot of demand for it, or
Yeah, so we don't have an issue of market. The demand is actually pretty high, especially in this markets over in Central Mass. I think there is a lot of demands for two bedrooms, especially. I feel like there's more one bedrooms in the area. People are starting to have, grow their families, have kids. So we're trying to do that balance of having one bedrooms, two bedrooms, if we're closer to universities or colleges, maybe thinking of studio units. Um, but yeah, no, we haven't had any market constraints. I think the other thing that Cunningham Equities really does well is training like their team.
Mhm.
I got a lot of sales training when I first started. I still do. Now I'm training new people. So we believe in systems and controls. So once we have a system put in place and a control to make sure that happens, it just things flow more efficiently. So I think that that also makes the difference in why someone choose our properties versus others.
Perfect. And going off that, do you guys have like the ability to negotiate leases? Have you got experience with a lot of that, or most people are find what they want, and if it's a good fit, it's a good fit? Or have you ever had to negotiate with tenants about prices or anything?
So I think in residential specifically, pricing is like let's say fixed.
Mhm.
Like when people reach out through apartments.com, Zillow, our website, they already know, like we put the information out there. So
Mhm.
if it's a good fit, they already know kind of like what to expect now. Also, these websites recently have added the feature of adding all the different fees so they can have like a calculator, which has also helped just to put things up front
Mhm.
and just as I was sharing with you before, just making sure the lead is a true lead and that it's a right fit for them, right fit for us. Um, so yeah, I think the website and just asking questions. Sometimes we ask people to apply before tours to make sure it's a good fit. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay, yeah. And moving into some advice you would give students here at Bentley, what skills do you think are the most valuable when someone is trying to get into real estate? Um, yeah, what advice would you give them?
So skills, so especially with us, we hire for character and we train for skills. So I think it doesn't really matter like what you know, but more like you want to learn. You gotta show up, you gotta be on time, you gotta ask questions, you gotta try. You're gonna make mistakes. That's just how life is. But just going that extra mile, just putting that effort in first would be my recommendation. Like performance comes next, then you make a plan with your company. Like what skills will be valuable? Should you take a course? Should you go for your master's? That's something that Cunningham Equities also supports, continuing education to develop those skills that are missing, or that needs to be, just improved. Um, but my other recommendation would be to network. But again, it's the same as relationships. So you meet someone, you get their LinkedIn, great. But then what's the next part? Like you want to reach out, you want to send them an email, you want to send them like a LinkedIn message. And then here and there, maybe ask to grab a coffee and like hear their experience and hear who they know. Throughout Crest, like I made incredible like networking. I met so many people in different fields in real estate. That it's just good to have that those colleagues in the area that if you have a question, you want to know what they're doing, and it's just really, really helpful. Not only to find a job, but once you find a job, to get that support from the industry leaders. That's what I would recommend to people just starting in real estate.
Yeah, so I hear a lot that real estate is a people business. So you would agree with that?
I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I think people, but not only the people that you work with, also like the community. It's a big part of real estate. You want to make sure that you're touching that area, listen to what, like, let's say the town needs, and make sure your project is going along those lines. It's also very, very important.
Hmm. And What what has been a one of your major accomplishments or achievements that you've done with Cunningham Equities that you're really proud of, or a
Yeah.
stat that you have contribute to the company? And can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So last April, I guess this April, April 2025, we brought into market 39 units at Jack's Mill. So that was phase three of the project. I would say that was the first phase that I was actually the leader on leasing. I helped throughout the other phases, but right now it was like it was me, like it depended on me. And then with pre-leasing, as I was saying, we're already pre-leasing now for units in April for another building. Just doing that pre-leasing with so much time, taking great pictures, good online presence. We were able to bring all those units to the market fully occupied by April 1st, which was a record in the company. So I think I'm very proud of that. 39 units before they're ready to be fully leased can be
Mhm.
complicated. People want to see the final result, but with pictures showing other units, and just explaining it to them while you tour was key, and also their relationship. So they want to buy, or they want to work with people that they trust, transparency. So I think that that's what made the difference, and we were able to accomplish that big milestone for the company.
Yeah, that's a great achievement to be able to lease up a entire building before it's even
Yeah.
completed.
Yeah, we are very happy about that. We're hoping that this next project is the same.
That's great. That's great. So looking back to your Bentley experience,
Mhm.
uh, were there any professors, or I know in Bentley there's not a lot of real estate classes, and that's why we're trying to do this podcast so students can get more educated. But
Mhm.
was there any professor that stood out or any class that drew you into real estate, or was it more on your own time and your own self learning?
I don't think, yeah, they don't offer like real estate classes, at least when I was there. I think it's an industry that is growing a lot, so they should. Um, I think Crest was like my start in real estate.
Mm.
I met so many people, and I think that's what like drew me into real estate really. And even though it wasn't Bentley classes, Crest had a couple of courses that they taught to all the students. So that was just really helpful to just understand how the industry works. And
Mhm.
then, as I said, the connections I made through there were just like so valuable to me and all the Crest students.
Yeah, so um, are there any opportunities or organization, I know like ULI,
Mhm.
that you would recommend students to go to learn more about real estate and get involved?
Absolutely. So Crest actually partners with ULI, Urban Land Institute, NIOP, Massachusetts, and then CoreNet New England. So those three associations, those were the events that I was talking to.
Mhm.
So they had this event, all over Boston. So I was trying to go as much as I could. Even if didn't have a friend to go with, I would still go. I would still go and talk to people. Um, so I think those will be the associations that I would recommend. I think NIOP is more development. CoreNet is more like corporate real estate, and then Urban Land is also kind of like development. So CoreNet New England has like a big like group, and actually Crest gave us like a mentor from CoreNet. So a couple of CoreNet people they were mentors for like, a lot of us. So I still talk to my mentor right now. I've met other mentors throughout their program, and I still talk to them until now. So as I was saying, like the people that you meet in the industry, even though you don't work together, they can be a great resource at any point during your career.
Yeah, that's a great answer. Yeah. Always stay connected
Mm-hmm.
and actually create connections with people, not just say hi to get a job or
Not just LinkedIn, it's more than that.
Yeah. So I have a few questions. They're more fun and personal. I wanted
Yeah.
to make if, for example, number one, if you weren't in real estate, what other industry would you be working?
I would say either like the restaurant business or hotel or travel. I just feel like I'm service oriented.
Mhm.
So I think I would be in one of those industries. I enjoy traveling a lot. I enjoy eating a lot. I enjoy the service industry. So I think that would be my second choice.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Yeah. And second question, do you have a go-to productivity habit or routine that keeps you organized when you're when you get so many leasing tenants and people leads that are trying to
Mhm.
join? I know you say there's a lot of people, there's a lot. So what's a good habit or productivity routine that you do to keep yourself organized?
Yeah, so I said like at Cunningham Equities we have a lot of systems and controls. So we have a lot of forms to just keep up with the leads, see when they're looking to move, a waiting list for when something opens up. So I think it's more related to like my job. But out of that, how I get organized like with my job, but also like let's say fitness, religious, friends, family, like other areas of my life that are also important. I use my calendar. So I used to have like an agenda, like a physical agenda before in Bentley.
Hmm.
Now I switched to a digital version. So in my on my calendar, I have my work calendar, which is from 8 to 4:30, everything that I have to do for work. But then I also have my personal calendar that includes work, but it also includes what time I'm going to the gym, what time I'm going out with my friends, what am I doing for the weekend. So I think just like not forgetting that there are other areas in your life that are also important to take care of yourself, your friends, your family. Um, just the calendar has been like such an important tool in my life. Like if you see my calendar, I have like 1,000 colors for different categories. I invite people so they can start organizing their calendars. My friends always ask me like, "How can you do so much?" And I said, "It's all about time management."
Hmm.
So I think I have mastered that ability. And I use the calendar for that.
Yeah, it's such a simple tool that a lot of
Yeah.
people don't use, but it's really useful.
Yeah.
Hmm. If you had to give a Bentley student one piece of advice, just one, um, that are trying to get into real estate, so what would it be?
I would say go to real estate events and network. That would be my advice. Not
Yes.
trying to learn about like I don't know reading books. I mean, it's obviously helpful,
Hmm.
but again, it's not about what you know. It's more about like what can you get to know, or like how much you bring to the table, how much energy, how much character, how much courageousness. So it's I would say more about meeting people, learning about what they do, networking, keeping in touch. That's what makes a difference in real estate, I would say.
Yeah, I really like that answer. And I really see that in myself because I'm a senior here at Bentley, and what actually has made me the most growth is connecting with people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all about who you know in real estate. Um, so yeah, and so lastly, how can students connect with you if they want to reach out to you or the company or learn more about the company? Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
The company www.cebuilds.com. Then you'll learn more about us, our residential and commercial projects. With me, I would say LinkedIn, but if you don't send me a message, I'm not going to connect with you. So LinkedIn, but reach out, like introduce yourself. That will be my recommendation.
perfect. I'll put Juliana's LinkedIn in the description. And thank you so much for joining us this afternoon.
Thank you, Fabian.